we're both muted.
I'm not muted no more.
No epic countdown, huh?
No, fuck that countdown.
I haven't got a notification yet. I'll share it once I do.
Get a couple fucking cocktails in this guy. I don't give a fuck about that countdown.
Who, me?
No, me.
You?
Yeah.
You, me, who?
Usually I would give a fuck, but not today.
Oh, there it is. From Time Live.
Oh, man.
All right.
Yeah, I wouldn't say we went off the rails, but fuck, it was...
No, I don't think we went.
We did a lot more talking about crackheads than I really expected, to be honest.
Oh, we're good. Never mind. No, we did. No, we didn't go off the rails at all. I don't think. I thought it was pretty fairly concise in terms of what we were talking about. I thought just kind of my stories about my drive.
I need to find a better way to figure out who the fuck's watching. It's so hard. Can't ever
tell.
Yeah,
it doesn't tell us. That's okay, though. Hey, I don't care, man.
Announce yourself.
Yeah, maybe that's our policy. Yeah. You must announce yourself when you
There's got to be a way. Fuck.
No, they said fuck that.
He's gone.
I thought that my story of my drive home and then kind of how much people irritate me.
You know what that drive home was?
What's that?
That's some weak dick energy.
Weak dick energy?
That's what that is. If that ruined your Friday...
It didn't ruin my day at all.
Because you don't know how to fucking merge?
No, it didn't ruin my day at all. It's not...
Yeah,
I do, though, man. Like, I get so fucking irritated at how people drive.
You ready to get in on this thing or what, Iceman?
Look at that, yeah. Hey, man, that's the only way. We just gotta pimp ourselves out.
Your new co-host, fuck, might as well get in.
Ryan said that you traded him 2 packs of baseball cards for me.
Yeah, bubblegum was gone. The bazooka was out, so that's okay. I'll take an open pack.
Now we just finished recording an episode and we're just sitting around, so we thought we'd fire it up and see what's going on. I don't know that we have a whole lot that's too interesting to talk about, but I guess hell, we don't most of the time when we do this.
Yeah, I'm about to say what's any different.
Look at that. We're both Brad, Pub Time Podcast. Look at that. That's awesome. I set that up the other day when I was getting on with Matt. But, no, I thought that there are so many people that are shitty drivers that it drives me absolutely nuts. It does. Like, and maybe it is a old man get off my lawn shit. I don't know. Me too. That's big dick energy.
I'm getting ready to change it. Just watch.
You can probably change
it. Just watch.
Is it possible?
Just watch yourself.
No, yeah, click on the 3 guys there. There you go. That's nice. You'll like this one. But no, I think that, hey, look at that. Hey, that's one thing. And you might be able to, Cole, if you're still there, I don't know if you are or not, but Cole hit me up today.
Yes, he's still there.
He hit me up today asking about recording. He's trying to record some interviews with wrestlers and things like that, and he wants to post them
StreamYard
or be able to share them. Well, I told him, he asked what we use to record like our podcast, and I told him that we used Anchor, but he said he was messing with, you have the Audacity, I think that's what it is, Audacity?
Yeah.
He said he was using that, and it would hear him, but if he did like a Google call with somebody, it wouldn't pick them up.
Yeah, that's
whatever. And I don't know much about it.
Why not just do it on Google Meets?
How do you can you record
get your
it?
Audio. Yeah. Fuck yeah, you do.
But to what? Like, so if you do it on Google Meets,
you can download your audio as soon as you finish. As soon as you finish the call, it gives you the same option this does.
Just download your audio?
Correct.
No kidding. That's probably simple. Oh, okay. So he figured it out. That's good. Yeah, no, man, that's cool though. As your deal is like to put together some sort of like a highlight film or something like that at the end of the year, or just something to put out weekly, or what? I think there's a little bit of a delay, so you probably won't hear this for another 30 seconds.
What's that?
What I said. But yeah, I think that we were talking today too at work, one of the people I work with, she's a super nice lady, and she takes there's an old man. She takes him out. Like his wife died. It's her friend's dad, and her friend lives out of state, so she can never.
Vidal, when are you? I'm gonna send you the link. You might as well get on this thing.
No kidding, man. Hop in.
I'm sending it. We're sending it.
But anyway, she was telling a story about this older gentleman. I mean, I don't know. He's like 80-something years old, and he is one of her good friend's fathers, and her good friend lives out of state somewhere. So she like once every couple weeks goes and picks him up, and he likes to gamble. So she'll take him to like a gambling gambling parlor. Thanks, or whatever Tabby. The case may be. And she said, like, this guy, like, he's loaded, but he never tips, like, the people there. He never buys anything. Like, if he tips, like, change. like pennies. Thanks, or whatever Tabby. The case may be.
Hey,
and what are you doing?
I clicked the wrong thing, god damn it.
Jesus.
Get off my nuts. Off my nuts.
So, anyways, like
we're drunk.
I thought it was interesting though. Like it's like because we talked a while back, like last week or whatever, about tipping, and especially after COVID, and if you get to go to a restaurant, that we realize kind of like how awesome it is to be able to go out to eat, and so we tip well. We're just like, hey, thank you for being here, right? Mm-hmm. And it made me think of how, like, just that generational paradigm where you have, like, that older, dare I say it, boomer generation, and they really don't value service. Like, they want service. They want you to wait on them hand and foot, but they're not going to tip you for it. They act like if they give you, like, $1.
Hold on. What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, you're over there fucking around. You don't even know what I'm talking about.
I'm trying to invite...
Figure it out.
I'm trying to invite the Vidals. I'm trying to... What? What are you talking about?
Everybody.
Who are we tipping, not tipping?
So,
waiting on
Jesus.
You handing foot. You and that fucking red carpet again. That's all
this has nothing to do with me at all.
Goddamn liar. Goddamn liar.
No, if anything, you would completely agree with this.
What's it have to do with?
I said...
Food service?
No. Oh. Lady I work with. Her friend's father. Older, like old man. Okay? Her friend lives out of state. Hi, Mike.
What up?
And friend lives out of state, so she goes and takes him out to do shit once in a while. And he likes to gamble. So she, like, last night she took him out to, I don't know, maybe a bar or some little gambling parlor with the slot machines. And she talked about he won like $800.
And did he tip?
Like, there's, someone brings drinks and everything else. And, like, she's like, he never tips at all. Mm-hmm. Like, anytime you go anywhere, like, he never tips. He never pays for anything. He's just, and she's like, she said that he's, like, loaded, too. That's the thing, is they have money coming out their ears. Totally. And so then I talked about how you mentioned with COVID, how even if your service isn't great, you're going to tip. Right?
Yeah.
Just because it's like a thank you for just being here.
No, yes,
but like, and then though at the same time, like, it's such a generational thing. Older people seem to be really bad at tipping. Well, like Cole said, he was a waiter for a long time. Older people usually don't tip as well.
Well, I think a lot of them, they value money a little differently. Like earlier,
but they want you. But they're the first motherfuckers to complain.
Service. Oh, yeah. You are the first motherfucker to complain, old man. Don't be busting
But I'm
going to
tip.
I don't say a fucking word until my food's on the table. And then if I'm really upset with what I've got, I ain't eating it any fucking way.
But so. I am going to tip. I rarely complain about the food. I'm more inclined to honestly complain about the service than I am about the food. Seriously.
Yeah.
But I'm still going to tip well. I mean, unless the person's just a miserable human being, like, I'm going to tip them
just the tip
decently. Well. Just the tip well. Yeah, let's try that next time. Say, hey, run a little low on cash, but you want just the tip.
Just the tip well.
Yes, Cole, we started a couple weeks ago. We usually do on Tuesdays. This is just kind of a spur of the moment.
This Tuesday, Edward 40 Hands.
Yeah, this coming Tuesday, Edward 40 Hands live.
Both of our hands will be duct taped with 80 ounces of delicious Modelo.
So I want to know from you guys, do you think that drinking 40s of Modelo is cheating a little bit? I feel like
cheating.
I feel like it's cheating a little bit. I'm not saying I would much rather
still reserve.
Hey, I would much rather drink Modelo.
Can we do Old English? That was my first option. And you poo-pooed. Hell yeah. OE.
I would much rather drink Modelo, don't get me wrong, but I feel like it's not in the spirit of Edward 40 Hands. I feel like it needs to be King Cobra or something along those lines.
Still reserve. We can do it. I get some Beast. We do some Milwaukee's Beast. No. Ice. What do you want? What do you want to taste afterwards? And are we racing or are we just casually drinking these? Are we going to make it a competition?
I think the concept of it is for it to be a race.
Okay.
But
is this first time, long time, pub time race? What are we doing?
I feel like it needs to be some sort of beverage that doesn't come in any other form than in a 40. Like Modelo, we can get in the can, but I think it needs to be unique to a 40.
Okay, you've answered your question. It's Old English then. Sounds great. I'll get them.
Hey.
Colt 45. That comes in a can.
Yes.
Most malt liquor comes in a smaller version. Still Reserve comes in regular cans.
What about King Cobra?
That's what you want.
I'm just saying. I don't know if I've ever seen it in anything other than a 40. Poison is an appropriate term, though. It absolutely fits.
Or we could do some Mickey's 40s.
You can get Mickey's.
We could spend 45 minutes just trying to figure out what the fuck the 40s
are going to. Yeah, no shit. I thought you said we could spend 45 minutes arguing about what 40s to drink. We had a lot more viewers when we were arguing about tipping.
Just the tipping.
No, I do think though that older folks won't tip.
Yeah. Fired up. Getting that karaoke going on or what?
I think that Mickey's a bad really any malt liquor is a recipe for hangover.
What?
What do you mean what? You act like I just said the most preposterous thing to you. Like
Colt 45.
These little
what are we drinking then?
I don't care. Modelo's fine, honestly.
Oh, now he's ready to cheat.
I'm not saying that. I told you if I had a choice, I would much rather drink Modelo. Do they make Ice House in 40s?
Do you think anybody can tell that I'm not wearing pants right now?
I know you're not wearing pants. I felt something crawling up my leg. Yeah, grenades. I remember the Mickey's grenades.
The little barrels.
Yeah.
Delish. Like I said, you spend more time trying to figure out what the fuck the cap says than anything else.
You know, I think that the first time I ever did anything that resembled a podcast, a recording my voice,
Bird of War,
was one night in my apartment after putting down a 12-pack of Mickey's grenades, and I fired up the first ever iteration of the Central Illinois Sports Forum, where actually just the subject of that was Kevin.
Yeah?
Oh, yeah. It was a gem. A real gem.
I think I remember it.
Yep.
Youngest
I don't remember. Honestly, I don't remember the details. It's a little fuzzy now, but it was fun.
Foul Territory.
Foul Territory was fun. That was a really good concept. And honestly, that was before every Tom, Dick, and Harry had a podcast like they do now.
No, there was a lot of Tom, Dick, and Harry's back then.
Not as many.
There's a lot more Tom, Dick, and Harry's now.
For sure. We
got stop fucking with that.
I know.
Goddamn
spray. We've got some more resources now. We got definitely much better setup. We just put an iPhone in the middle of a table and talked. That was about it.
The fuck why are you coming at me like that?
No, I'm just saying that's what we did
previously.
Yeah.
Oh, the Friar of Fulton County.
Goodness. Yeah. No, there's plenty of subject matter there for sure. Definitely more subject matter than brain matter in that situation.
No, it doesn't matter.
No, you're right. The Mickey's grenade's a cool bottle for sure. Absolutely. We need to get back on the bourbon train a little bit.
Got some of that Elijah Craig up there. It's not great.
No, fuck that.
It's
shit,
not
man.
bad.
It's not bad.
It's not great.
No, it's not bad. But
I got stuck a little bit.
you could have
I feel
poured
like
that.
I played with my asshole a
No,
little bit.
you could have poured that in a Jim
Jim-
Beam bottle, and I
You
would not have known the
motherfucker.
difference. That's what I'm saying. Like
Yeah,
it
wasn't worth the extra $10.
uh
I'm going with Stumpy Bootlegger. There's another one that had some old man Kentucky's best bootlegger, Tennessee's best bootlegger. I should have bought it. Should have tried it.
we could throw the phone number out there. Anybody, your phone's plugged in, right? You need to maybe set it up so it'll ring through if someone calls, because I don't know if you'll see it. You just get a missed call.
What do you mean? No, I got
If
a
someone
missed call
calls the
last time
hotline.
because I fucking shut her down.
Oh, you did?
yeah.
So it
We're
rings
in the
through?
middle of fucking recording.
No, that was your sister.
Yeah, but the other one, it rang through.
Did it?
I shut down twice.
I thought
And
it was
the other-
twice consecutively. We can see. This is what you guys are missing. This is just what happens. We just hear fucking bicker, like nonstop.
Married for a while now.
You could try it though if anybody wants to call in on the Pub Time hotline 1-309-273-1190.
It's Lucha Dick's birthday.
It is Lucha Dick's birthday. He's not here, unfortunately. He's out. What did we say earlier? He's at Chuck E. Cheese.
Yeah.
But yeah, 1-309-273.
Trying to fight the gorilla on the
1190.
keyboard.
No, a little Friday night action. You know, honestly, I can't believe
He's probably pissed because he's not tall enough to ride that ride in the corner.
Which one?
The one that takes it just in a circle.
Oh,
can't
is
remember
it?
what
God,
is.
I haven't been.
You just sit in the little seat.
I'll be honest, man. I
That's
don't
one of
even
those
know the
ones.
last time I've been to a Chuck E. Cheese because, especially,
You're not supposed to. You're supposed to take your children.
well, good point. But the local Chuck E. Cheese is not a place I care to take my children.
Oh, fuck, a little World Star. A couple Rochambeaus on in that place.
I
Who doesn't enjoy a good fist fight for free?
that's true.
Little cheese
Free
pizza,
entertainment. I mean,
little
I
fist
guess if
fight,
I'm like,
skee ball.
you know, that's a good point. It should be, hey kids, it's time to introduce you to the real world. Let me take you to Chuck E. Cheese.
Yes, baptized by fire.
You see what this is all about.
Gunfire. That's been wild. I've seen a couple of those videos where you just have 40 quote unquote adults
Yeah.
throwing hands inside of a Chuck E. Cheese.
Wasn't there they put that place in out at the mall, round one? Wasn't there a big fight there too? Not too long ago. What is it about those places? Why is that your?
Yeah,
Are you
I have
mad
no clue.
that
No clue.
somebody beat you at air hockey or what? Like, I don't understand how that comes to be.
So my buddy I work with, he said 2, maybe 3 weeks ago, he took his old lady's sister downtown. She wanted to go downtown Peoria, and they went and hit the Strip, Main Street.
Are there even any like actual legit bars down there anymore?
Oh yeah, it's still full. They're different now.
I can imagine. Anyways, continue.
So he comes outside. There's like 50 people just blocking Main Street, and his girlfriend's Linda. What it is? His girlfriend's boyfriend just comes walking out of the club and just gets clipped, just put to the ground.
Just because he was there?
Just for walking.
Wrong place, wrong time.
He's like, fuck that, man. I'll never go back down there again.
No. How many on the lives? It's varied. I don't know. Between 1 and 200. Somewhere in that range. No, it's not that many. I maybe a dozen or so. Obviously, I mean, we love you guys, but apparently just a lot of people that don't have anything better to do than listen to us ramble. Which, hey, we're happy you're here for it.
That or they know us personally and they've already heard all our shit.
Right.
It's unfortunate. You'd be the first. You'd be the first. I appreciate that.
We're getting ready to, with October coming up, we're getting ready to fire up a round 2 of the Faces of Death. Get more into the serial killer thing. 8 serial killers we're going to break down, pair them up, face them off head to head.
naked in an alley. May the best man win.
I am way into the alien thing. Like, I'm seriously to the point where, and I've said this before on the show.
You need to do more drugs.
I've said this before on the show. Like, I think
drugs.
The aliens, like religion, I think it's aliens. Like, God is the aliens. You know, all this crazy shit that happened, you know, the pyramids, whatever. You talk about, like, angels glowing in the sky, yada, yada. It's the aliens. And they got everything set up here. They split, and they come poke around once in a while to make sure we're not fucking shit up. They pluck somebody out once in a while to do a little experiment. Okay, hey, they're doing well. We're like a crop to them. We are their crops. We're the corn for the aliens.
What, they just come down and pluck the ones they want to do dirt track stuff with?
Well, they just check it out. No, I mean, they're just like...
Still working in there?
It's like the lab, you know? They go pull a piece of corn cob out of the field, check it out.
Throw it back.
The only difference is we get put back. We're like a fish. We're like a shark. They tag, you know, you catch a shark, they tag it, send it back.
Wild, Wild Country. Is that the one with the... Is that the one where that Indian guy, he's like a guru, takes over part of, like, it's not Utah. It might be like Idaho or somewhere. Is that what you're talking about, Cole?
The more I learn about aliens, so the more it makes sense. It seems too plausible.
Hey, there's Mike.
Mike. Hell yeah.
First time, long time. No, the Phil Schneider thing. I always get into that. This blows my mind.
What's the deal now? So Cole says it is the thing you were talking about out in the West?
Yeah, you need
the West.
Guy with some money comes in, gets a bunch of followers. They basically take over this small town, and the people that live in the town are like, no, fuck this. Like, opened up his own commune. There's death, sex, all the good cult stuff. He talks these people in just like most of them, where it's not okay for you to have sex with your wife anymore, but it's perfectly okay for me.
Yes.
I love that idea.
The Branch Davidians, David Koresh. That guy was a genius.
It's a great idea.
Like, he's the biggest con man ever.
It just kills me how people blame. Like, you know what? That's a great idea.
I carry the burden of sex for all
Everyone,
of us.
Yes. Please. My shoulders are strong. Luckily for her, your wife's shoulders are stronger. So I've never understood that.
Do you remember we talked about how David Koresh, apparently there was a power struggle to take over the Branch Davidians after their well-established leader of a long time apparently died. And there was a guy who had sort of assumed control, and David Koresh, I think he wanted to like kind of take over, but what he did was, I don't know if he initiated it or if it was the other guy, but there was a challenge for a resurrection off.
What do you mean?
Because they said they were essentially
they're both gonna die. God. See which one.
No, they were like, they were gonna say
greatest play ever.
Like, no, it's about like
see
that though.
Come back.
No, it's about like that because Koresh is like, hey, like, I challenge you to a resurrection off. Like, we're gonna get a dead body and see which one of us can bring it back to life. And so the guy he challenged goes out and fucking digs this dead body up out of their cemetery, and Koresh knows he's going to do this, and so he picks up the phone and calls the cops and says, hey, so-and-so just disturbed a dead body, and they go and arrest the guy, and he walks in and takes over the Branch Davidians.
No, he should have done the Kool-Aid thing. That'd have been a better deal. Let's both take this. See who's the first one to
see who comes back to life.
Jim Jones trick. I love it.
See who comes back to life first.
That's wild, man. Jim Jones.
I know it's a big thing, but I honestly don't know a lot about it.
And Guyana, bad time to go.
Hey, I don't know a ton about it.
Halle Berry was probably a better Catwoman, my opinion. Just saying.
Maybe next week. We're gonna have our hands filled with delicious malt liquor next week, but maybe in the future you and Dick can
Are you
play.
going malt liquor?
Whatever. I don't care. Let's
Modelo.
not fucking argue about it for 10 minutes again. What?
It's malt liquor. What are me and Dick going to fight over?
The next week after that, maybe you and Dick can play
Monsters Ball?
a game of pub time gay chicken.
I'll never lose. Poor Dick.
You guys can grab each other's dicks and see who gets a boner first.
Me?
You every time. I think that means you lose.
No. Not in the game of love.
You're right about that.
I tell you what, nothing makes me happier than when me and Dick.
Gay chicken got Cole. He's out. See you, buddy. Good talking to you.
Nothing makes me happier than when me and Dick go out in public and I just make him so fucking uncomfortable.
I'm surprised he's not tuning in.
Every time we go to Walmart,
he won't comment because he doesn't want people to see his real name.
He'll be looking at something. I'll just like be rubbing the small of his back. Just fucking, you can see his.
I don't. Are you guys
his body leave? It just.
Are you guys?
We'll be in the bread aisle, and I'm just.
I figure you guys are like looking at something. I don't know, lumber, and you're just rubbing the small of his back. Like, I don't know if that's gonna fit, sweetie. Like. I can only imagine. He probably just wants to crawl out of his skin.
Oh, he's like, I'm fucking never going with you ever again anywhere.
We need to get him to create a second Facebook page, Dick and Dayton, as an identity.
Lucha
Dick.
Only on Cinco de Mayo.
Goodness, what's everybody drinking tonight? My goodness.
What is the one person drinking tonight?
Well, it's Friday. I figure most people are probably having a couple of beverages.
We're going Old English. I think we have to. And then we could even get Andy in here for the wine chug.
The wine chug?
I've been challenged to a wine chug. One drink.
Oh, I saw that.
You get one drink.
And how?
One bottle, one drink.
Okay. I tell you what, we talked about hangovers earlier.
Oh,
some of the worst hangovers I've ever had in my life have been from wine.
Well, that fucking Mad Dog, man.
I don't even know what that would classify as.
So listen, I had a Mad Dog flashback the other day. So I bought some.
You have green shit? I
bought some crushed grape packets to put in my water at work because I drink so much fucking water and I hate water. I need something in there. I did about 3 of them the other day.
So you need a little purple drink to get you by?
That purple drink is no different than the sangria, man. It was lime green. It was the craziest fucking thing I've ever seen in my life.
It must be, does brown and purple make green?
It's got to be the dye. I don't know what it is, but I was like, oh, boy, it's been a while since I've seen that.
Yeah, I always remember that about the sangria, the purple one. There was that wasn't my favorite though. When there was like one that was like an orange or something, a peach or an orange. It was really good. Really, most of them were pretty good. It's just it was cheap.
Sangria was their go-to.
It was cheap. It was good. But you'd be fucking hungover as shit the next day.
So I loved our progression. The first couple of times we'd buy a bottle, buy another bottle.
Then it was like we need like 4 bottles. Oh yeah, we bought the box.
It was like, hey,
You just have a
go
case.
To the new twist and like give us a case of Mad Dog.
What do you think is going through their mind? Like you got like a 25-year-old sitting there with a cardboard box full of Mad Dog. They're probably like, "Are you homeless?" Like almost. Like
sleeping in this box when I'm done. Don't worry about it.
Oh goodness.
Those Mad Dog days were good. You used to get a lot of Elvis impersonations out of you.
Because if you Mad Dogs, that wine, fire up the suspicious minds.
Touche.
No, that was good times. That was back when like it was a pain in the ass to record video on your phone. Thank God.
It wasn't that big of a pain in the ass. Just a little pixelated. So I had that video of Sutton shaking his ass that morning, and I was like, "The fuck." I'd like to know what that dream was all about. what he was backing up to.
Who knows? Who knows, man?
That guy.
It's so funny because at the time, like looking back, you're like, man, that was some fun times. Like, that was good shit, good experiences, whatever. Like, look back on it fondly. But at the time, you're probably like, God, this sucks. Like,
this is what life. This is being an adult.
We're pooling our money together to buy a couple $2 bottles. Of fucking Mad Dog 2020.
Maybe that's where my hatred comes for the homeless. All the Boone's Farm and Mad Dog.
Yeah, be more resourceful. Figure it out.
Should have made my own wine.
I don't know. This thing might have dried up.
Oh no, they're coming out. We know they're coming.
We'll wait for the wave. The wave of viewers. Hey! How's it going, person?
No, I kind of miss those nights a little bit. Those always good times.
Yeah, I mean, there's something about thinking back at the time where, like,
free as a bird.
Yeah, not a lot of, I shouldn't say not a lot of responsibility, but like, just, yeah, not having someone to answer to necessarily, being able to do whatever you wanted to do, just getting a little bit of trouble, that sort of thing. And to kind of have that experience where you don't ever really get in any serious trouble or have anything fucking too crazy happen to you, but you get to kind of walk that line a little bit. I think that's a good thing.
As close as you can
It is absolutely as close as you could be.
Yeah,
100%.
That could have went fucking south real fast.
Yeah, I always tell people, I'm like, it's a fucking miracle that I made it through the majority of my 20s with no children or any that were in jail or whatever.
Illegitimate children, no DUIs.
No, did never get arrested. None of that stuff. Now, we were pretty good at pushing it just to the edge. So we'd reel it back in.
Still, there's some nights, like the night I puked in my car while the cops were playing poker. I'm like, man, that was easy peasy. They're one phone call away. They could have hooked one of their buddies up.
Now, wouldn't like your door open?
My window was down.
Window was down, and you're just sleeping in the driver's seat
with the car running
in the bar parking lot. Fuck, they were probably too drunk to notice.
Yeah, he did me a solid big time.
Didn't they wake you up or no?
Yeah, they're like, hey, bud, you should probably go home. I was like, yeah, you're right. I'll see you later.
Jesus. I'm like, are you okay to drive? Oh, look, it's all sitting down here in the fucking pocket of the door if you want to have a peek.
Yeah, all the 10 high whiskey I took in.
That's terrible.
And I do remember there's like potatoes or something was in the apron, little door pocket, and I was like,
I feel like I can smell it. You know, like when you get talking about some crazy puke story.
You know what it probably was? It was probably that fucking Butch's potato pizza.
Ugh, I didn't care for that pizza.
That wasn't bad. I'm not sure I've ever had a Butch's pizza that I'm like, that's awful.
Hey, have you ever had?
Cheese.
I know we did
Huge
pizza like in 5 for 5 like forever ago, but we got just some Little Caesars pizza at work today, and we got talking about like good pizza, bad pizza, whatever.
Little Caesars bad pizza.
It's not though, man.
For like, $5,
especially for what you're paying for it.
Yeah.
Unless you're wanting some of that bougie ass pizza, like
bougie. If you haven't eaten,
we got Papa John's the last time we got pizza, and for the same amount of pizza, it was literally like $100 more. Like no bullshit, like $100 more.
Then, is it
for the same amount of
pocket?
pizzas? No.
Then fuck it. Who cares?
But I'm saying
I'd pay
we got
$100.
Like That's much better. 7 pizzas, 2 things of crazy bread for $60. Like fuck, that's awesome.
It tastes like the box that it comes in.
I mean, it is not that bad. Now you want to eat it hot. You don't want to eat you don't want to eat it after it's gotten down to room temperature or anything.
You know I only eat pizza one motherfucking way.
Piping fucking hot. Like If you
Cut it
could,
right
you'd
out
walk
of the oven.
behind the counter and have your mouth open at the end of that conveyor that runs it through the oven and just shove it right down.
No, but that place in the Heights, man, I'm on that pizza big time right now.
Well, that was kind of what people were talking about in the office. They're like,
and those fucking breadsticks. If you ain't had them,
I haven't.
The beer cheese.
Have not.
Fuck, man, stupid. Go tomorrow.
Take
your wife. Go tomorrow. Go for lunch.
That's what they were talking about. Is they were talking about the couple wood-fired places, which that place, and there's another place down by the ballpark, the Sugar.
Yeah, not worth the fuck.
But they were saying
compared to the
I've had
two,
Sugar before.
compared to the two.
Yeah.
And you gotta get the marguerite, which I know I was poo-pooing on the vegans earlier, but fresh basil, sun-dried tomatoes, real mozzarella, like the
slice
dollops of mozzarella and olive oil. Stupid. And beer cheese.
I tell you what, like a good like Mediterranean or whatever pizza is really good. That's got like the olive oil, and you get the spinach and basil.
What do you mean
maybe.
Mediterranean?
That's
Italian.
I don't know.
The only thing that would make it Mediterranean is if it's on a fucking pita.
No, I mean, because there's a. Well, I mean, I don't know what you'd call it because they don't call it that, but the place up in Henry Italian Villa, they have a pizza. They don't. It's called Andy's Pizza is what it's called. Not called shit. But it's very similar. It looks
to your fucking moose
and has a little taste of like Monocle's pizza.
Yeah, but
it's olive oil. It doesn't have the red sauce. It's like a olive oil and it's got the basil and I mean it's really good, really good.
I'm telling you, the place in the Heights, man. That's place to be.
Renzo's.
Oh, go get your pull. Beer cheese bread.
I've had the pizza there one time. I should go try it again.
Beer cheese. Last time I got their meatball pizza and I put some special shit on there. Fuck, stupid good. That mozzarella though, you go and it's real mozzarella, not shredded. None of that bullshit.
Yeah, it's a little slices.
These aren't even they're like dollops.
Yeah.
Fuck, man, so good. Delicious.
Absolutely.
That's where it's at.
What's everybody drinking tonight? Anybody got anything good to drink? Ryan's on the Guinness. I've got the tried and true, old reliable Busch Light.
Fucking coming
still
back
in the green,
home,
still in the green can.
I sent Vidal that link forever ago. I'm gonna bust his balls.
He's a well distinguished educator. Probably doesn't want to have guys like us bringing down his image.
Oh no, we're definitely bringing him down. At least a couple notches.
Oh man!
Best part about teaching, there's always another opening somewhere. Can't teach there, you go to a Catholic school.
I guess.
Right? Diocese will give you your fucking...
Yeah, they don't care. Felony, no felony.
Pedophile, no pedophile.
Come one, come all. Root beer and chocolate milk.
Maybe that's who... Richard?
No, I'm assuming... You coming on here to place your order for when I come home? Get out of here. You're much closer. You want root beer and chocolate milk, you're much closer to it than I am, sir.
Oh, definitely. Put your order in.
Yeah, well...
And hopefully this asshole shows up with it this time, unlike last time.
There's no order last time.
No, he told me all about it. Your bad son.
Whatever. So be it. Oh, or are you drinking root beer and chocolate milk? Maybe that's what he's saying. We asked what everybody's drinking. So he's probably drinking root beer and chocolate milk.
I'm glad.
I hope not together.
I'm glad that guy cut you off.
That bring a whole nother that's his own black and tan. Root beer and chocolate milk. Blah.
It's like a ghetto float.
Yeah, I can't imagine. Yeah, I don't know. Root beer and chocolate milk. That would be interesting. That's something we could do sometime is some drink terrible beer and liquor or goofy concoctions.
No.
On the talk about how bad it is. I know it's awful, but probably entertaining. Probably a little entertaining.
I know that doesn't sound good. Richard, did you listen to your son's new sports podcast? How do you feel about the realignment?
He told me today that he needed to listen again because he fell asleep. So obviously,
That entertaining? No,
obviously it was really.
I didn't fall asleep listening to it, so can't be that bad.
Oh, I don't know. What do you think? Pull the plug on this thing.
Yeah, being Rick doesn't want to talk to us.
Hey,
Richard
everybody.
Dick's in the house. Get your mask on, son. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday! Look at that.
Feel like I'm aging in dog years now.
Jeez.
You don't look a day over 50.
What are we into it? 40 minutes? 41 minutes?
We had a few for a while. We had some good stuff going on. It's thinned out here recently, but I wish we could broadcast that you're here.
Now it's just us and Rick. We're having a good old Mexican standoff.
We can have this conversation at home.
That we could.
I just came back from my brother's house. I know now where.
Texas?
No, and
that's your cousin.
I know now where to go if zombie apocalypse ever happens.
His
Whipping
house?
all his
Oh,
pistols out with
Gosh, oh, it's loaded to the 9.
You heard it here. Don't attack.
I'm not going to give you
Dick.
the address. Yeah.
Don't attack Dick because he's armed.
Yep.
at all times.
Good times.
We set it up and we advertised for 2 weeks from, or a week from this coming Tuesday. You and Ryan are gonna play Gay Chicken on the live.
And I already plan on losing.
I was going to say I lose every time. I give up. What's the prize?
No.
This dick.
Oh, jeez.
So, I think your wife posted your age, but I don't remember how old are you today?
6.
46. Nice.
Don't feel a day over 50.
So 20s, 30s, and you're over halfway through your 40s. What was the best 10 years?
Honestly,
The first 10.
I would say 30s. Honestly, because you.
Don't make me feel so bad about myself.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if you guys would agree, but I feel like you know the most, but yet you still don't know.
Right.
You know.
Don't know shit.
I could see what you're saying there. I've had other people tell me that. Foxy told me that. He's like, oh, dude. He's like, when I turned 30, he's like, dude, my 30s were way better than my 20s.
Yeah.
So he told me.
Really?
Yeah. He's like, 30s are way better. And maybe it is. Like, you can still do all the fun shit you did in your 20s, for the most part, drinking and everything else, but you got a little, like, wisdom at that point.
Yeah.
Like, you can navigate shit
All
a little
right,
better.
So back to our prostitute conversation. Now you're telling me you'd rather be the wily veteran?
So we were talking earlier, and I said that prostitution is probably the only profession where having more experience is a bad thing.
I was just depending. I thought you were going to say it's a good thing, and I'm like, I don't know that that's
No,
true.
No.
He
Yeah,
disagrees completely. Ryan completely
As-
disagrees.
No, as a customer,
Yeah.
which one would you take? I myself would rather have the wily veteran.
But see, he's thinking
More
like,
bang for my buck.
He's thinking like classy though. He's thinking like, Vegas escort, like corporate.
Minus the drink at the bar. I'm
Hooker.
not paying for a prostitute, and if I
I-
do, I want a higher end.
I think it's the same as anything. Nobody's in their prime at the beginning, and nobody's in their prime at the end. So somewhere in that happy medium would be
30-year-old prostitute.
prime.
That's what he's talking about.
yeah.
In
In
your
their
30s,
30s.
that's where you got to be.
That's when you peak. Do you think is that a fair statement? You think you peak in your 30s?
No, hell no. I'm just getting good.
I was gonna say I don't necessarily.
You don't feel like you've peaked yet?
I didn't say I haven't peaked, but I'm near the end of my. I just passed the middle of my 40s, so
Fucking old Yeller over here.
I guess all you can do is
take him out
hope.
behind the woodshed.
I guess all you can do is hope. I hope I haven't peaked. To be continued.
No kidding. Gosh, where was this 20 minutes ago?
Was it a little bit quiet?
No, I mean, no, it was all right.
I think you guys do just fine without me, for sure. Even better.
Yep, it was all good. All good.
We were arguing about malt liquors.
Yeah, which
He's afraid.
I'm not afraid. It's what I said.
He didn't want to do the old English. Modelo's cheating, but he's okay. Let's do the Modelo.
I would. My choice,
He won't do
if I have to
Milwaukee's
drink
best.
a 40, would be to drink Modelo. Absolutely.
You buy your own 40s, I'll buy my own 40s, and then we'll race.
Okay.
Or should it be across the board? Hot 40s.
No, God, I'm 100% out if it's hot 40s.
What?
100% out.
You have them taped to your hands, so you have a limited amount of
That's
time
why you got
before
to
they
drink them
become
fast.
hot 40s.
That's why you got to drink them fast. No, I'm way out on hot 40s.
No, but your Radlers, there must be something good in there because they did not freeze.
Yeah, I don't know what that was because I was really sweating it.
Those-
what was
those
that,
got
3
that-
days later?
Those got those aerators in them
What?
I
too.
don't know.
He put some of those Radlers.
Those
Radlers.
Grapefruit. They're just grapefruit flavored beer.
Oh,
It's like it's like a squirt.
a squirt. Just a squirt.
Not that kind.
No? No.
Hey, old lot lizards.
The experience part being a bad thing would definitely apply to truck stop. Yeah. No, for sure.
I thought that was where the prostitutes go to retire.
Yeah, that's a retirement home for
That's the
the ladies of the night.
What he's saying is once you fucked one Swift driver, you fucked them all.
Dad, I was going to send you a picture the other day. At work, I saw a Swift truck pulled in the parking lot to go down the other end of the building, and I was going to be like, it's the first time I've seen one, and I was going to snap a picture and be like, shit, nobody's vehicle is safe. Like,
I think those guys just get a bad rap.
I'm
No.
surprised. So my son-in-law is truck. He's a new truck driver, and he was only on the road for like maybe 6 months before they made him like a mentor, and he, is training other drivers. I'm surprised at how many drivers more drivers that he's worked with have quit than have actually made it through and went off on their own. Like it's if he is a good example of the actual numbers, it's crazy how many guys come in there and do that and get to that point where they're in a truck with another person training and decide, no,
Fuck it,
this
I don't
isn't
want
for
to.
me.
I think there's all kinds of turnover in that industry, but I think it's because most people that end up there they've like failed at a lot of other things, and they're like, okay, what can I do now? Like what's something I can do that doesn't take a ton of effort that I can make a good amount of money at? I mean, that's how they perceive it. And they're like, I got it. I'll be a truck driver.
Or even like see the world. Or
Yeah, and then they get out there and they realize there's a hell of a lot more to it than just
I want to see
sitting
the
in a truck
world.
rolling.
All I
See
see
the
is
United
fucking
States, I
Nebraska.
should say.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're just driving across Kansas and Nebraska and wherever else. And when you do get anywhere where there's something decent, like you can't see it because you can't pull a fucking truck into a parking lot somewhere and go check something out, And if you do
So,
get,
Are you telling me the Cinema Classic Over the Top is fake? Is that what you're telling me?
what's that over the top?
train for your.
I love that movie.
Yeah, the best place to train for an arm wrestling tournament is on the road.
Yeah, your biggest thing is you can claim that, or you can rate the truck stops in each city. What's a good truck stop?
Yeah. I went on the road with the old man a little bit here and there, and it was cool, but it's like, it's cool to
How
do
many
it for
arm
like a
wrestling
little bit.
competitions did he
Zero. He won zero
zero.
arm wrestling competitions.
He'd have beat the fuck out of Bull
Not a-
early. Are you kidding me?
Not a one. Not a single one, but I don't know. There's a lot of places I'd like to go to. She say a lot of turnover. All sense of the grass being green. Yeah, that's about any job, though. Well, and that's one thing, too. There is a lot of job hopping that happens. They go company to company to company. And I think part of it's sign-on bonuses. But I imagine you got to stay for a certain amount of time.
Stay long enough. Shit. Till the check clears.
Right. But, and everybody's offering, X amount of cents a mile, And then, the other company's offering 2 cents more a mile and so on and so forth.
You got to be like Lincoln Hockey. You got to be owner-operator.
I guess I thought that they were able to get home more often. I did notice that, like my son-in-law, like the next time he'll be home is September 1st.
Yeah. I mean, I think if you're going to make any money, like it's hard. Yeah. I mean, if you're going to make any money, I think you got to be out for, commit to being out a few weeks at a time. Are you drunk?
Hey. Oh boy, up on the big screen.
But no, I think that
it's bad for business.
What'd I say? No, I think you got to be out on the road you got to commit, 3 weeks, 3 weeks minimum just to make some money. I think, I think the first gig my dad had over the road, it was like every weekend home type of thing. But it's like you can't hardly get far enough away to, rack up any miles if you do that.
Like I said, you end up in Nebraska.
Yeah.
Maybe at least 3 weeks or longer.
Yeah, so that's what he's, I think, banking on right now is he's going for the money side of it.
And if you got the lifestyle where you can go out and be gone like that and do that shit, you can make good money. And you don't have a ton of expense. I mean, obviously you got to feed yourself, but
that's it.
I mean,
yeah.
I guess if you get caught up in the
lot lizard game.
The ladies of the night, that's a different story. But now I think almost any truck stop anywhere has gambling machines and everything else in them too.
Although it feels like you're getting fucked, it's just not the same.
No kidding. Yeah, a little slower.
Those Blazing Sevens have really never taken care of me like that. So that's my favorite.
It is.
I pick them out.
I mean,
everybody's got their own machine. What machine you play? Somebody's got.
So the game, if I see it, a game I'd have a hard time not playing. And you don't see it I haven't seen it too many places, but it's I think it's called Africa.
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
And if you get the bonus, it's locking wilds, like the whole fucking column locks. Yeah. And the couple times, I mean, anytime I've gotten the bonus, I've won $500, $600, $700. But it's super fucking hard to get the bonus.
So this isn't your game. This is just the one you've had the most success with.
Probably my go-to game if I'm somewhere is like Kitty Glitter. Would be it.
Kitty Glitter.
Yeah. It's one, it's got the bonus is good, and then it goes to it has a wheel. You can hit the wheel. It ain't too bad if she's good looking.
What about you, Dick?
Mine is the Africa one with the wilds, because that seems to be the one where you can win the most money when you do hit the bonus.
How pissed do you get when you sit down play one of those games and you hit the fucking bonus and you don't win shit? Yeah. Like, you fucking kidding me? Like,
I played $20 and I lose. I'm pissed. It ruins my night. I'm done. I don't see how people just sit there and continually.
But doesn't your wife have a lot of like dumb luck at those things?
She does, but you get dumb luck by pissing away $20 at a time. Like, I'd probably be more lucky if I played more too, but
right. So you just the law of averages.
Yeah, I just get pissed.
So you're saying that she's not up all time?
No.
I went last night and played because my cousin was in town, and I played at the Paradise, and the last machine I played, I had like $30 left. I won't say how much I had in the beginning, but I had $30 left, and I put in a machine, and that thing just hit and hit and hit, and I was up to $260.
You're almost back even.
Yeah, I was pretty close to even, and I ended up just
getting
stupid because I thought, oh, this thing's on a roll. It's going to hit hard, and I think I cashed out at like $80. So I still cashed out ahead on that machine, but yeah.
I'm a max bet guy too. So
no, you have to. That's the only way.
4 spins, 5 spins, maybe.
And that's what I was. And the way the Paradise, a max bet is like $7.50, $9, $10. So I was betting, I think, $9 a spin on this deal. Time.
What was it, like a dollar slot or what?
No, it was a penny slot.
So no shit.
So you're betting 900.
90 ways
or whatever.
Yeah.
Time.
I tell you what though, I go to a real casino for the most part. My preference is to play blackjack or some sort of table game usually. It's a little slow. You can lose your money maybe at a little slower pace, and at least you feel like
you don't get no fucking fever games.
Well, at least that's true,
table.
but at least you feel like you got maybe some half-assed control over what happens to some degree.
And they have put together the fever games somewhat. Do you have side bets now on black?
Yeah, they got
side
some,
bets,
but those are sucker bets. So most of them
Yeah.
are bullshit. But I think I don't know. Like I enjoy, but I don't want to sit down. Unless I'm with some buddies. I hate fucking squeezing at a table with like seven fucking strangers and you're fucking smashed in there, whatever. And now if I'm at a table, if I'm like 4 or 5 friends and it's packed, awesome, great time.
Usually you win more than 2 because it's a little more laid back, and you're not as you tend to play a little more looser. You don't tend to watch your play as much as you do when you're with strangers.
Right.
So the way blackjack plays, everybody thinks it's every man for themselves, but it's definitely not.
No, yeah, you
what if
got
it's
to play.
just you and the dealer?
I've done that before.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Intimate,
Honestly, that's
intimate setting.
That's probably the best way to play in terms of having control over it.
At that point, it's definitely not a slow game anymore.
No, it's fast. Yeah. I had a chance because in Vegas they have single deck blackjack. Where like you go here, you're playing, a shoe of probably 6 decks, but in Vegas it's single deck blackjack. Now, but they'll deal the cards face down. Both of your cards will be face down because in single deck blackjack, counting cards would give you a huge advantage. So they didn't want the table to see what cards are out.
Mm-hmm. I always feel weird in Vegas though, because like when you play in Peoria at the Paradise, like you even put your hand near the cards and there's a security gun on you. Like you can't touch anything. In Vegas, you can pick up your cards, see what they are. Like there's they're not watching you like that.
True. No, you're absolutely right about that. And in Vegas, the free drinks and everything is awesome. But if you're sitting and playing blackjack with strangers, you get people, they're gonna get pissed because like there's kind of a pretty solid blackjack strategy. Like this is how you play the game. Yeah. There's a couple gray areas, but like most of it is this is how you play the fucking game. And so if you take a card when you shouldn't, when it's like totally against basic blackjack strategy, everybody else gets fucking pissed. Because,
I love that idea.
Because now the dealer is going to get an opposite card or whatever the case, like the dealer's going to get something they shouldn't have gotten.
And even in the gray areas, though, the name of the game there is play consistent.
Who we got here?
What's up, fellas?
Hey, buddy. How's it going, man?
Oh, living the dream.
Yes, you are.
That's awesome. I love your alias. What's the BD?
Oh yeah, Big Dick.
That's awesome. That's us telling Ryan earlier. It's like, he probably wants to stay on the DL a little bit.
Just a little.
I don't blame you.
It's gonna be hard to do with a voice like that.
That's one of a kind.
Okay. That the 2 people watching aren't gonna care.
I'm bringing listeners into you right now. I got one brick coming in.
Awesome. I'm gonna go take a leak and grab a beer.
What you been up to, man?
Nothing.
You set the mood. I love it. What are you playing? You playing games? I can tell. What you got going on over there?
Background.
Call of Duty.
Yeah.
Getting that ass whipped by some 10-year-old kid.
Yeah, I know it is.
Absolutely. No, I'm playing with Nick.
Oh, tricky Nicky. That Call of Duty, I've tried it a couple times. It pisses me off.
Oh, absolutely, I get it.
Some of those old motherfuckers, man. That's all they do. And
I did some research on the Houston 500 earlier, though.
Yeah, how was it?
I did.
How creepy was Ron Jeremy? Now that you know what you know.
He's like interviewing the guys and stuff. That was a little wild. But I did some research, and I guess originally she thought it was gonna be 500 and turned it to be 620. Is that what happened?
Oh, I don't know. Is that what it was?
From my understanding, from what I read, she thought it was gonna be 500, and the numbers just got so high, it ended up being 620.
Oh, damn. So she had 2 for 1.
See, I thought it did say 620, but I thought that was like the sequel, but maybe not.
Maybe it all happened in one night.
The source wasn't Probably not a great source.
Someone stopped counting. Did
Not
you
many
look
can
this
count
up
that
on
high.
Urban Dictionary?
No, it was on Twitter. Even better.
Oh, fuck. I trust Twitter.
I do too, actually. So.
Oh, how long are you going tonight?
I don't know. We've been on for a little bit.
You boys going live twice a week now? You guys are big time.
Pao was drunk. He wanted to fire it up. I said, let's do it.
I talked to this boy and me. He told me.
Started happy hour.
Yeah, his boy and me told me he's getting after it now.
I had a little bit of shine earlier, so by the time I got here, I was ready to go. And then
I love that.
Got a couple beers, and he's ready to fire it up. So I was like, shit, let's do it.
Have you guys partaken in a little? Have you guys had the high noons yet?
I have not. I know what you're talking about.
They're like vodka
little
sodas.
seltzers. Yeah.
I don't know if there's honestly. I don't really like any seltzers, but we had these tonight. They say vodka soda on the side of them. I don't really know, but they're pretty decent.
Are they straight heartburn like the Bacardi ones?
No, this cheap ass bourbon I'm drinking straight heartburn right now though.
What you got?
1792.
Never heard of it.
Don't be thankful.
Sounds like 10 high.
Yeah, it's bad.
Just talking about whiskey.
Yeah, 1792.
What is it?
1792.
I've had it. It's good.
Oh, I'm not a fan.
He disagrees.
No, I mean, it's. So actually, the when I had
it's
it,
cheap. It's cheap, so like I'm not expecting anything special, but
I went to Benny's, and I was looking for Buffalo Trace, and they got all their little experts and shit walking around, and he's like, "What are you looking for?" I'm like, "Well, I'm looking for Buffalo Trace." He's like, "Oh yeah, we're out." He's like, "Let me give you a couple options that are comparable," and that was one of them, and I got it, and it wasn't like my favorite, but it's better than Elijah Craig.
No,
yeah,
not.
for sure.
Yeah, it absolutely is.
It has that burn. Like
it's a little spicy. Yeah.
Yes. If you like that, then you'll love it. But it burns a little harder than I like.
No, that was my beef with it too. Is it was a little hotter than I would prefer.
Yep.
For sure. Have you had Michter's?
Yes.
Michter's is fucking legit.
So that was like, I don't know, probably 6-7 months ago. I got a bottle of that, and we hammered that out pretty quick. It's good. I like that smooth.
God,
I didn't even know that's how you pronounce it. Actually, someone told me he said it's Michter's, and so like anytime I talk to somebody about it, I feel like an idiot because I didn't know how the right way to pronounce it.
Hell, the only reason I know is like anytime I buy like a different bottle, I like go into YouTube and type in, and there's like a thing on there. It's called like the Whiskey Vault or something. Is these two guys that just do whiskey reviews, and one of them's like a whiskey sommelier and all this shit, but they review anything, and everything I've ever bought, they've had a review on it. So I always go in though and listen to them talk about whatever it is, and that's the only reason.
Where the hell do you buy liquor in Lake in Illinois?
Nowhere.
Okay.
The fucking Casey's has like Jack Daniels and shit like that, and the BP maybe has Jack Daniels and shit, but there is that liquor store. That liquor store in Henry is legit, but like I've only been there like twice, but it's legit. Normally I just there's a liquor store in Chile. It's okay. Like they sell Buffalo Trace and that stuff, but like if you want, like there's no Michter. The only place I've ever seen Michter's is fucking Benny's.
Yeah, that's where I got it.
What's the other? There's another. I like Woodford Reserve.
Oh yeah.
Now it's another one though. It's a little spicy.
No, it's not. Which one? Just the regular?
Just the regular, yeah.
I've only had the regular of that, yeah.
Yeah, I've never had like the double oak or whatever the goofy one is.
Mm-hmm. I do have a bone to pick with Hacker though.
What's that?
Hey, what's up, Nick?
What's up, fellas?
What bone you picking?
You talked about 40s the other day, and if you have a 40 with anything other than King Cobra, you're not doing it right.
That's what we were talking about earlier.
Talk to your boy.
No,
Talk to
I
your boy. He's
fucking
scared.
said
He's
I'm
scared
not
of the malt
scared.
liquor.
No, you said you wanted to do 40s and Modelo,
Say
and
it's
don't
gonna
get
be
me
a
wrong.
rough day at the milk factory.
I would much rather drink Modelo if I had a choice, but if we're talking like True Blue, Edward 40 hands, you got to get
Colt 45.
I said it
English.
should be something. Go ahead, Kevin.
How many? I mean, how long is it gonna take you to down 80 ounces of Modelo?
Not long.
Not long at all.
Oh, okay. I stand corrected then.
Not as long as it would take to down 80 ounces of King Cobra. I
said,
can tell you that.
You want a true challenge, hot, right out of the truck.
No.
That's a
Nope.
real challenge. That's a test of will.
I would definitely say that we drink on a regular show more than 7 Modelos.
Oh, for
easy.
sure.
Yeah.
I would rather. No, I'm not even gonna fucking say it
Say it,
because I'm
say
gonna
it,
get
say
roped
it, say
into it. I was just say I would rather drink like a cup of your piss than a hot King Cobra. Like
It'll probably be straight Modelo at that point too.
Fine wine.
If you're doing fine wine, you got to go Mad Dog.
oh shit, we talked about that earlier.
You want to do a wine chug? We do wine chug, but I think Edward 40 hands. I said we do Still Reserve, whatever you're comfortable with.
Well, like I said, if you want to talk about a real 40, it needs to be something that only comes in a 40 and no other form. It doesn't come in a can or nothing. It's just 40 ounces, which is probably King Cobra and maybe I'm sure there's others, but
King Cobra's just leftover Budweiser, so that's what I'm saying. Bud, like, it's gonna be a rough Wednesday.
I'm not saying I'm looking forward to it. Like
Now, did I also hear Hacker say that Mickey's comes in 40s?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, it does for sure.
So maybe this King Cobra thing is something you do on August 26th on a Friday afternoon at 6:00.
No.
Oh, during the world record happy hour thing.
Oh, we could do that anyway.
You boys should. I've heard that. You guys need to up it when they're in, what are you, 20 hours in, 30 hours in? When are you guys going in on that?
We're doing it 6 p.m. on Friday, and then we're back in at 6 p.m. on Saturday.
So, like,
but I don't know
10
what
hours and 28 hours, whatever that'd be.
Yeah, on that Saturday, you're gonna have to really take that to another level.
Yeah, it's got to be rough by then. You
For
know,
them, for sure.
I don't know how you keep it rolling.
How does that work? Does only one of them of that group have to stay on, or are they all staying on the entire time?
Someone has to stay basically the entire time.
Yeah.
Like, so I don't think they're going for the Guinness World Record anymore because
Okay.
they wanted like $15,000 for it to be acknowledged, like to actually break the record. And then if you fuck up somewhere in between, like,
You're out $15,000 and
Pretty
still don't
sure.
have the record.
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem worth it.
But the guy that did it the first time, he stayed the entire time.
And he
All
was just solo,
38
right?
hours, yeah. Or 35 hours, whatever it was.
Yeah, that's got booger sugar written all over it.
Yeah, well, that's what I was saying. Have you guys ever met anyone in your life that could sit there and just talk for almost 40 hours? Straight.
Other than my mother-in-law, no.
Kev, I think my buddy Richie could do that.
Yes.
Good old boy.
And are they doing it? Is it going to be live when they
Yeah.
do it? It is like
Just
this.
like this StreamYard, yeah.
Because if it was live and people could hop in and interact with you, that helps.
Yeah, that's
And I get that's why they're
what's
having
going to
people on.
happen,
But
yeah.
like for that dude you said that was solo, and you're just sitting there talking to yourself for 30 whatever hours.
It's like NPR radio at that point.
Oh, it sounds like he was rapping for a while and all sorts of. It does not sound like it was 36 hours of something you
pure
would want to
enjoyment.
listen
Yeah.
to. It just happened.
So when you
Gotcha.
guys go on, is there a certain subject you guys are talking about already, or is it going to be off the cusp?
It's probably random as shit, I'm guessing.
Yeah, we'll find something.
Yeah, I'm assuming so. Are we gonna like record it? Well, like, you gonna record it on Anchor when we do it, just to
Oh,
have
God,
it?
no.
No. Just curious.
It'd be a one-off.
No, I mean I'm sure it'll probably be a lot of fun Friday night because they'll be just getting
Fresh,
into it
yeah.
fresh. But yeah, I bet Saturday it's a struggle, and that's not a knock on them. It's just shit, man. After just being awake for that long.
Oh yeah. I struggle staying awake for about 12 hours, and I'm done.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm usually good for about 7.
and I imagine they're going to be drinking, so you add that on top of it.
Yeah, the coca, that'd be the only way through this. That's the only
I agree.
safe passage I see.
Yeah, it's got to be.
I don't know about safe.
Yeah, I was saying that.
That's methed up.
Yeah. By the end of it, Mike's going to be like Chris Farley. Be wound for sound.
Oh,
Not dead. No, I didn't mean that. No.
all red faced and on the verge of a stroke.
Oh man. We were talking the other day trying to figure out if Hacker was going to fire up his fantasy football league again this year. He's kind of been dragging his feet, and he's thinking about giving a couple people to boot because they don't want to pay. I'm like, I bet we could round up a couple more people that would want to play.
You can always get my ass to come back in fantasy football.
Yeah, I'm like, we might as well do it. I mean, we just, like last year, we didn't even get to, I mean, a couple of us got together for the draft, but we just did it online.
Yeah.
So you didn't have to, I mean, you could come hang out if you wanted, but.
It's a lot to get 12 people with different schedules in the same place, but it's
Right.
definitely way better if you can. It's way more fun.
No, it is. It's a good time if you get people together for sure.
We were trying to follow COVID protocol.
Oh, yeah.
Fuck.
I get that. Nope, I get that. Yep.
You guys seem like the type of people that would follow those.
Absolutely. Yeah, we were wearing masks and social distancing.
100% vaccinated.
Mask
Right here in the
mask
studio.
is all that we were wearing.
Bush Light does not count as vaccines. I just want you to know that.
Bet.
Hey, Brad lost his appendix over it. So.
Yeah, that's what I had to get my appendix removed like a year ago this past April, just randomly, and
Weeks after.
yeah,
the
I
vaccine.
had I had gotten vaccinated, and Hacker's like,
There
I
goes
was
your
talking to
appendix.
Hacker about the vaccination, and he's like, I'm like, what do you mean? I'm like, I feel fine, whatever. He's like, how's your appendix feel?
Because
Oh, good.
before the vaccine, you were the picture of health.
Yeah, the model of
That
health.
appendix was healthy as fuck before you got there. Now she
Never.
gone.
Never had an issue.
One common denominator there for sure.
No shit. Well, I just figured, I'm like, after I kind of talked to some people and
Who needs their
did
appendix
whatever,
anyway?
not that, but I was just like, it's not that I really gave a shit either way, but I was like,
How'd they
Fuck.
do it? They suck that thing out like with a vacuum or what?
they
go in and
cut they
Snip
cut
it?
so your appendix is on your lower right side. They cut they were like put like 3 holes in me. Like there was one on the right side, I guess, that was like a camera.
I thought they go like in the back door and
Yeah.
There was one below my belly button,
Easy access
where
there.
they blow your stomach up
that-
like a dome. They put air in you to blow you up. Not
So
that I
they
need it.
didn't- You're like, we don't need that much air,
And then
boys.
on
Nurse, who blew this guy up already?
and then on the they go
Deflate,
in on your left
deflate.
side. Deflate, yeah. The only visible scar I have is on the left side, and that's where they actually go in and like with whatever tool they cut it out with and shit. But I tell you what though, man, because they're like, oh, I was like, of course, when I found out I was having it done, I'm like laying in the hospital. They were going to do it the next morning. And I'm researching stuff, and like the nurses are like, "Oh, everybody feels like way." And mine hadn't ruptured, so it wasn't like an excruciating pain, but it was uncomfortable. Like, oh, everybody always feels way better, like immediately after surgery, just the relief. And I remember waking up in like in fucking pain, and I'm like, I even remember saying, I'm like, God, these fucking liars told me that I was gonna feel better. This fucking sucks. Like, but I guess it was a reminder though that underneath all of this, I still do have some abs because anytime I use my core at all, I mean, it was it fucking sucked.
When is the last time you've used your core?
That's a good question. That's a good question. I mean, I probably engage it when I take a shit, but that might be about it.
If that were the case, I'd have a six pack.
Ryan be fucking Fabio.
Yeah, as good as that cantina was today, violent exit.
Oh, God.
Violent exit.
You have the. I swear to God,
No,
anybody
this
have
was
no-
Bud Light. This was all that fucking Bud Light. I don't do that shit.
When'd you drink Bud Light? Oh, that's what they drank last night.
Oh.
Bud Light.
Yes, at the happy hour. At the quinceañera, that's all we drank was Bud Light and Bud Platinum.
Oh, really?
Oh, fuck.
I assumed that they had like Modelo.
No, so I'm kind of the wood pile. So I show up, I got 40s of Modelo, and they got cases of Bud Light. And I'm
Maybe they get excited about.
not real Mexicans.
Bud Light.
Not real Mexicans.
I
I'll
was
tell
like,
you.
Was this a work party?
You didn't hear about this?
Super 8 in East Peoria, boy. It was a
whoa,
big deal.
That's where all his.
We
That's
tore
where
it
his
down.
fellow workers.
Oh, I see what happened.
Mi
there.
amigos.
That's
Yeah.
And then they ended up engaged with a
street
sex
walker.
worker that was walking the bike
Black
trail.
Oh,
Was it a work
wow.
party?
It was.
It was.
It was. It was a good time.
And then they kept telling Ryan they needed to take him to eat at Mi Familia on Wisconsin to get him right.
And then they go to Big Al's and shut it down. And all showed up at 5:30 this morning.
Whenever you talked about Wisconsin, it made me think, Kev, you remember that time we ended up at that fucking bar over off Nebraska to play darts or whatever?
Sea-Rocks, baby.
Sea Rocks
Oh.
is what it was called. This place was in the fucking hood, man.
Somehow we got talked into playing in a dart league. I think alcohol is involved, but they talked us into playing this dart league, and we go out there, and it was called Sea Rocks, and the car in front of the bar had no wheels on it, which I thought that was probably a pretty good indication that we shouldn't be here.
Pretty good security measures.
Yeah.
At least it's not
Nobody's
getting
gonna steal
stolen.
that.
No.
Could you imagine if
I'm
you're
gonna go
like,
ahead and take these
there's
with me.
such a great chance that my car's going to be stolen, then I'm going to take a half an hour to remove all of my tires and put them in my trunk.
No one's stealing this shit.
No shit. And then go back out after when you go to leave and put them all back on.
Now, hey, I don't know if you guys know this. This was actually Brad's second podcast. Do you guys know this?
Yeah, we were. You
Foul
must
territory.
have hopped out for a while. Yeah, we were talking about that earlier. I said we were talking about Mickey's for a little bit, and when we were talking about 40s, and I said the last time I can remember drinking Mickey's, I drank about 12 Mickey's grenades, and I made my debut with the Central Night Sports Forum that you happen to be the topic of, if you remember.
You also did one on the official that
Yes.
kicked you out.
And then we
And
and
your
then we had
co-host, your co-host now works at a weed distribution center in Peoria or something.
The Yonk?
Yeah,
Yes.
and then we did Foul Territory.
you know.
Uh,
Oh yeah, that was the third one.
That's what I was talking about. The Foul Territory thing. That was legit. I mean, I shouldn't say legit, but like it was a good idea.
A couple weeks ago, I found you asked me for some. I did two little write-ups. I did one on Babe Ruth when he hit that home run for the kid that's dying in the hospital, and then one on the Macho Man, Randy Savage. And it must have been right after he had his heart attack, because that'd be about the time, 2012.
And like I said, that was a little before every Tom, Dick, and Harry had a podcast. I mean, now, like, really every Tom, Dick, and Harry has a podcast. But we didn't have anything like what we have now. I mean, we just had an iPhone sitting on a pillow on an ottoman or a coffee table. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
we were part of my take before part of my take.
Yeah, exactly. No, man, that was fun though. I mean, it was a good time for sure. I don't know if the quality was worth a shit, but
No.
it's definitely fun.
Brad actually got traded to another podcast today. He got sold
Oh, what'd you get in
Right.
return?
like cattle.
Not much.
Yeah.
First round pick, right?
2 meals and a
Baseball
chicken.
cards.
But yeah.
Basically,
Bubblegum's already gone though. So
some NFTs or something.
basically.
No, there's a guy another dude that's got a kind of a already established sports podcast. And I can never get Ryan to talk about sports, so we did like a little thing the other day about NCAA realignment and all that stuff, and then we got talking. I'm like, hey, would you want to do something like a weekly show to talk about, like a weekly preview show during the football season to talk about college games, pro games, whatever? And he's like, well, how about you just co-host my sports podcast with me, and we'll do it that way. And I'm like, sounds good.
Now I'm gonna give you a little backstory. We've done about 60 episodes, okay? And I can't get this guy to come up with one topic. One person asks him one thing one time. He has an entire fucking spreadsheet of how he's going to realign the NCAA.
I've listened to every episode. Now, keep in mind, Brad and I, when NCAA, I don't know, maybe 14, whatever the last NCAA football game.
I still have it.
We made a massive tournament with every team in it. So he's well-rounded in that one, I think. I don't know, 180 teams bracket.
Yeah, we did. We literally put it on like a piece of cardboard.
Yeah.
And it was I think what we did is like every other game.
It's wild. You guys didn't even smoke weed at the time.
This
blows my mind.
I think we alternated who got to pick their team, because like every matchup it'd be like, okay, you get to pick who you want and I'll take the other team, and we did alternate, or we flipped a coin or some shit.
Who had VMI?
VMI is not in the game.
No.
Citadel,
I think they might be.
All I remember is I had Georgia Tech.
Grambling.
That's all I cared about.
Yeah. And that was what the funny part is, like each of us had a couple teams that we were like fucking, and they weren't even like good teams. It wasn't like the best teams in the game. They were like obscure fucking teams that we were lethal with.
What was his name? Denard Robinson.
He's on the cover. Yeah, he's on the cover.
One. Shoelaces.
Yep. Absolutely.
It's coming back. You know that, right?
That's what I heard.
PlayStation has one in the works.
You've listened to every episode?
I've listened to every single episode. I do want to come back to something from earlier. I don't know how many episodes ago it was, when you made a comment on Hacker. When Hack decides he's gonna grill, it is an all-day event. That is the honest God truth. You're not eating.
Right, it is.
If you're eating, like you're going there for lunch, you're not eating lunch there. You're eating dinner. And you might be eating at midnight, honestly.
Guaranteed.
You can't let me drink.
Guaranteed.
You gotta let me cook first.
No,
One of the two has to happen.
Yeah.
So I start drinking, and I ain't even fucking hungry.
Right. I agree that like a cookout, like cooking on the grill or the smoker, it's an experience, right? Like,
It's a real fucking experience.
and I enjoy that. I enjoy the process probably more than actually eating the food. But yeah, that's no fucking joke. Like, if it's like
Then
11
grab them
o'clock,
tongs, son.
if it's like 11
Grab
o'clock,
them
you're like,
tongs
hey
and
man,
throw it
why don't you
down.
come over and throw it on the grill? It's like, sure. It's like 7 o'clock. I'm like, so how about that food, man? Like, we're gonna eat.
Yeah.
Yep.
You always know when you're going to a cookout, you need to stop at McDonald's on the way there just to hold you
Exactly.
over.
Hey, it's all yours. I put the hat on you guys.
We always give him shit because we'll do the podcast on Thursday, and it's like the rest of us, me and Dick, we'll get a little hungry or whatever, and like, but Hacker's regular dinner time's like 7:30, so like
It might be a little later.
Now, there's one grilling that probably stands out more than the rest. I don't know if you guys remember this. This was out at the campground. You guys remember this one?
Yes, the squirrel.
The
yeah.
squirrel.
I still have
the video.
I still have that video it's like in my Google Photos or whatever. It's in the fucking archives.
I think it shows up on Facebook. It was on Facebook, so it has to show up on your memories at some point.
Because I want to say that's you and Vidal rolled the Rhino that day.
No, we didn't roll it. Kevin drove it into a fucking tree.
No.
And it
Straight
wasn't
into
even-
it.
No, I thought it rolled
No.
No. This is
because that's the same
dead
night.
center, middle of the
that
tree.
Rick got so upset about us talking shit about soccer, they fired a lawn chair at Vidal after we all tried.
Well, hold on.
Squirrel.
This wasn't the same time as the Rhino wreck.
I wasn't even talking in the middle of that conversation. Brad was giving him shit, like normal, and he took that chair and threw it across the fire, and it landed at me, and I wasn't even talking. That was Rick at his finest.
Rick seems so balanced. That doesn't sound right.
What's that?
I said Rick seemed so balanced when I met him. That doesn't sound like him at all.
Super balanced. Yeah, you look at balanced in the fucking dictionary.
New Balanced.
I do know he'll always bring the beer though, so that's a good characteristic to have.
Yeah, probably not anymore.
Oh no.
No. Nope.
God, no, I remember that. I don't think it was that weekend. I don't think it was a squirrel. Because a squirrel weekend, we were like the only 4 people at the fucking campground. There was like another group of people.
Positive.
Yes.
There was another group of people on the other side.
Because
And
it
I
was
remember,
roadkill. You guys just found it.
Oh
You
yeah.
brought it back.
and I remember there was a group of people on the other side of the campground, and we were over there. And then, of course, Rick's like, we should fucking go over there. And we stopped by, and they were nice, but you could tell they were like, what the fuck are these people doing here? Like,
Why are they so drunk?
and Rick of course like acts like he's just welcome anywhere, and so he didn't he would not pick up on the social cues at all, and the rest of us are like, this is really fucking awkward. Like, we should just go back to the fucking cabin. But no, the rhino thing was a different weekend for sure.
I will be completely honest. I did not roll that. I 100% drove it straight into a tree.
Yes. Well, it was like
Dead center,
the front
dead center.
right.
Never
I don't even
roll.
know it was dead center. I thought it was like the front right side, that little brush guard in the front got bent in. Or whatever.
It'll ride fine. It'll ride fine.
I'm surprised he hasn't sent me a receipt to pay him for that.
He sold that fucking thing. He sold to Luke like what? Probably 5 years ago, and then Luke ended up
Lightly
selling
used,
it.
never wrecked.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, brand new, gently used.
Mint condition.
Yeah. Yep.
Just just basic wear and tear.
No, I know you guys don't talk about sports much, but I texted you guys yesterday. Bo Nickel. He absolutely murdered the guy he went up against. I think he beat him in like 61 seconds or 62 seconds.
He's
was
gonna
insane.
be good, man.
He's gonna be really good in MMA.
You could tell.
Wrestling
you could tell,
wise,
yeah, like those wrestlers, they're just a different level. Like, he moves so quick, and like his lateral speed is just different than like any of those jiu-jitsu guys or BJJ guys.
if he goes to the UFC, he's the best wrestler that's ever been in the UFC. Easy,
I mean, well,
I mean,
Henry
he's calling a
Cejudo.
shot.
without question.
He's calling a shot. He already says he is. He says
Yeah.
right now, I am the best. So, and I mean, he hasn't gone against anybody, but
Right.
he his
Cejudo,
speed is unreal.
before he won the Olympics, you had no clue who that guy was. I think he just had a really good tournament.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well,
Yeah.
Terry Brand's like probably molded him a little bit, but no, Nickel's going to be a stud. I mean, even as a wrestler, he was very unorthodox. He wasn't like, I mean, he did a lot of shit that was different.
What did
was
he-
really?
What did he wrestle in college? I don't know what that
He was
weight
like
class
one-
is.
he was like
70s and 80s.
He was like
Fast
180.
90.
Yeah, I don't think he was. He might have started at 74, ended up at 84, and then
Okay, so UFC that'd
97.
be 85. So he'll wrestle 85. He can get to 86 unless there's a title match, and he has to be 85. But like, he weighed in, I think, a pound and a half under what he needed to. So he must have weighed in at 183 and a half. So I mean, it's easy for him.
Yeah, he's a wrestler. I don't think he'll ever have an issue weight wise.
He, I remember.
Who's that put him in with?
Hamza
don't really-
Shamaev would be like the up and coming guy. He would, and then like Usman.
Oh yeah, that'd be a good ass match.
Yeah, so that'd be like his. Yeah, that'd be very good. I mean, he's pound for pound, maybe one of the best in UFC right now. So
What was the line if you were betting him? Wasn't it like minus 2,500 or something crazy like that?
So I think it finished at minus 3,000, which was the highest, like, I don't know, differential in betting history in UFC or in MMA history.
Nice.
Who's he? Is it Bellator? It's not Bellator. Who is it?
So he fought in Dana White Contender Series. So it'd be like,
Oh,
it would be
it's
like, if you,
their G
like the
League or
minor
whatever,
leagues.
yeah, I would consider it like the single A of MMA, basically. I mean, the poor guy. It's sad. Is like this guy that went up against him. Like, this is his one shot to ever get in the UFC, and he had to go against him. I mean, he's fucked. So
Jesus. Yeah, I remember that time that I think we were fucking there. Iowa, Penn State. This one of the times we went, and we were sitting on like the fucking end of the building or whatever. And that's the night that fucking Sorensen, no, it's not, Sorensen almost beat Zane Rutherford, but Zane was sick or something. And then Sammy Brooks was wrestling Bo Nickel, and like he got in deep on a fucking single leg, like an outside single, and everybody's like, "Oh fuck yeah!" The crowd's going crazy because they're like, "He's gonna fucking take him down," and then Bo Nickel fucking spladled him and pinned him. I remember that, like, and like that's like a fucking like a spladle in you see that in junior high wrestling because it's like a good wrestler does not get spladled ever, like. It's like it'd be like if somebody scored a touchdown on a fucking double reverse in the NFL. Like it's just you don't get beat by that.
Yep.
Yeah, and he fucking splayed him and pinned him, and it's like, oh shit, he's different. Like
I remember when we went to Iowa Penn State. Ashton Kutcher and Miley Kunis was there, or Mila Kunis. But I remember, and I still to this day I tell my friends. I mean, that event you'll never go to a sporting event where the fans have a better idea what's going on at all times ever. I mean, every fan in there, I probably was the one person that didn't know what was going on, but anytime, I mean, you get to take two and you hear it, and like that's just, you don't get that in any other sport. It's different.
Right. So that's the night we went to the gas station. They didn't have cards. We ended up
we made cards on paper.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
We found a stack of index cards.
Yeah.
And we made our own cards.
Yep.
Cato, because it snowed like a motherfucker that night. We went to leave the next day.
No, you're right though. I tell people that too. I'm like, it's one of the best. I mean, I've been to a couple Notre Dame games now. I've been wherever and pro games. It's the best sports environment I think I've ever been in. Mm-hmm. Like as far as like people being engaged in what's going on and excited. Now, obviously, I love wrestling, so I'm a little biased. But like for someone like you to say that it's so unique that, I mean, you have 12,000 people there for a fucking wrestling match, and you don't see that anywhere else.
That's the real black hole, man. When the top comes off that place, it's like fuck. It just.
I mean, I was getting goosebumps. I don't like wrestling. I didn't care for wrestling. I enjoy UFC now. I'd probably care for wrestling more than I do then. But I remember I was getting goosebumps just hearing the crowd and stand up and the roar. I mean, it's different than any other sport, I'd say. I mean, I haven't experienced a sporting event like that ever before.
I'm hoping to experience one this fall. I got through a vendor at work that happens to be like right up near South Bend. I scored 2 tickets to Notre Dame Clemson.
Ooh.
So yeah, in November, and I'm imagining because like the company has season tickets, and I got 2 of them, and so I imagine they're probably pretty decent fucking seats. So. I'm fucking pumped, man. Like, that's going to be awesome.
Imagine both those teams undefeated. I don't know what they have.
Notre Dame won't be. They open with Ohio State at Ohio State. Like, they're not going to. Don't get me wrong. It'd be fucking great. But, like, my dad keeps being like, well, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, Dad, shut the fuck up. I'm like, he's like, well, 15 points is a lot of fucking points. I'm like, I think it'll be a competitive game, but like how those games are. When there's one team that's definitely the better team, like they'll pull away late. Like I'm like it might be tight the whole game, but a turnover late, whatever. It's not hard to win a game by 17 points, 2 touchdowns and a field goal, whatever. At that
like
level.
So you're taking the points. I get it.
Yeah, it sounds like the perfect game that opens up at like 13.5, and then they cover 14. They win by 14.
Right.
17, like you said, exactly.
And I mean, I think that Notre Dame's on a good trajectory, but they're killing on the recruiting trail. I think Marcus Freeman's going to be good, but like the guy's never.
They are the Cowboys of the NCAA.
Oh, that's
Joe Montana's been dead for a long time. God damn it, son.
No, hey, I took this motherfucker went to Notre Dame with me. This motherfucker went to Notre Dame Navy with me last year. And his eyes
they
were
miles away from Nick Saban. I'll tell you that now. Miles.
No, but dude, when you should have seen this guy. He talks all this shit.
Happy birthday, Jay.
Happy birthday, sir. He talks all this shit, man. As soon as he fucking stepped foot on that fucking campus, his eyes were fucking as big as could be. He was in love.
I was looking for pedophiles. You were not. My head on a swivel.
You even turned around. You're like, this is pretty fucking cool. Oh my god!
Find the first guy with the priest outfit on.
Slapped the shit out of him. No, Butter Jesus was cool.
See, this is a sports podcast now.
Yeah, there you go. We just turned this into a sports podcast. Kevin, I tell the story a lot about that time we went up there for that. You remember the coaches clinic?
Oh, I'll never forget. I just told the story the other day.
I was like, well, first of all, I'm like, I got to see Bill Belichick, which was fine. We were late, so we caught like the end of it.
Right.
But
so hard on Marvin Lewis.
he was terrible.
Marvin
Lewis was so bad.
He didn't know how to work the computer.
No, and it sucked because we were like fifth row off the fucking floor.
Yes.
So we couldn't just get up and walk out. Like,
yeah. And he's like asking us like PUD to the side, like, hey, can you come here and work this for me? And this kid's like, sure, I'll try. And he's trying to show us, I don't know, some sort of scheme. And he just can't show it on the computer, and he can't explain. He can't like even verbalize it. I was shocked. I mean, any normal high school coach could have done that. And he's an NFL head coach for several years, and he couldn't even do it.
Yeah, I mean, I was like, goodness gracious, like this guy. I mean, at that point,
What
he
are
was
you
close to
saying?
the
What are you
end,
saying?
but he'd
Thank
been
you,
employed
thank
for that
you,
fucking long.
Thank you, Mr. Rooney.
Oh my God!
So
oh
what you're saying?
jeez!
Right?
Then,
Tomlin. I
well,
mean,
didn't you go into like one of those little side rooms where there was like some high school coach that like Notre Dame must have been recruiting one of their kids, and he just showed like a highlight film of kids playing man. He's like, he D1, he D1, he D1, like.
Yep.
It's like, great. This is really fucking informative.
You know, that was an interesting weekend because we also found out some other news that weekend, and it was
that's when we found out about we were there in the flesh with the felon when we found out that he was, because like we went to the hotel and the credit card got denied.
Yes,
because they had shut it off.
I think I was 20 at the time. I didn't have anything for money,
And then he looks around at us and like I think Zoss picked it. Zoss picked up the hotel room.
And did you guys pay for this?
Yeah, that was something else.
No, you guys had to peddle flesh to pay for your
hotel room. I tell you what, that's one of the, even when I think about it, it just makes me feel uncomfortable. Like having to go testify in court, like that whole thing was the most uncomfortable fucking thing ever.
Against a friend.
And like it was drug out over like 2 fucking days because the first day we just went and sat there all goddamn day and never did shit.
They thought we were going to get in. We waited the entire time. I remember we left practice, waited there for hours, and they go, oh, yeah, come back tomorrow. We're like, are you kidding me?
Yeah, we just sat there and got fucking chastised by his wife and father-in-law.
Yep.
Catholics.
like
Catholics.
Literally. Like
do you need any more?
Like me, Kevin, and Josh are like sitting there, and she's like, they're like pacing in front of us, like looking, these are his so-called friends, blah, blah, blah. Like, I mean, just like ripping us up one side, down the other. We're like, what the fuck? Like,
Yep.
And I'm looking around like, are people going to let this happen? Because I was assuming that like intimidating a witness.
Right.
It wasn't the fucking mafia. It wasn't the mafia.
We're at the. No, it wasn't.
Your kneecaps were never in question.
No. But then I went in, the first question they asked me, and it was like, who you are, or whatever. And then like the first real question they asked is, have you ever heard of a Nike football camp? And I was like, yeah. And like they're like, okay, case closed, end it, I'm done. And I'm like, what? Like that was it. So I went in there for about 2-3 questions, and they told me, all right, see you later. And I was like,
God, they asked me a bunch of questions.
You must have been involved more than me.
Jimmy Wang Yang end up there? No.
It was
no Wangs needed.
Well, it was funny because like Kevin and I were the only ones like initially, like other than like the like Du Bois and Nagel, and at some point, like once we told Josh Johnson that we were talking to the state's attorney, he was like, well, fuck, I want to fucking talk to him. Like, he was all in, man. And they asked me like first, they're like, they asked me to identify him.
Yes.
So I had to be like, he's sitting right there in the green suit.
He's like head down.
Yeah. And then they asked me like questions like about fundraising, like, did you ever have any fundraisers? How these fundraisers go? What was this and that? Did you understand how those funds were supposed to be used? Some shit like that. And I think the lawyer tried to cut me off because like the very last thing I said, because like he asked me a question, and it was like I answered, and it's like he was like satisfied with my answer, but I like kept going, and I was like, well, I I trusted Doug Martin as the leader of our football program to do the right thing. And as I'm saying it, he's like, no, like trying to like talk over me. And I'm like,
yeah. He did.
Speaking of, I'm still waiting for my parking pass.
They asked like, what did he refer to himself as? Like the others. And I was like, Daddy Warbucks.
Daddy Warbucks. Yeah, I remember that. Good Lord. And then like the whole time though, I mean, his wife, she's just sitting in there just fucking staring daggers through you the whole time. Like I remember I walk in and like immediately like she had to break her neck to look at me. Like I walk in and it's like and just fucking stare at me the whole way.
Yeah.
Like,
She barely knew who we were, but the only thing she knew is that her husband was getting drunk at her domain every 4 times a week.
Yeah, no shit. Like she's like sleeping there. He'd crash. You remember? Like,
yes.
Like Doug's like sleeping at my mom's house.
Yes.
I mean, I guess it's better than. I mean, I shouldn't act like that's a crazy thing. So usually be Friday after a game, and we were going to be back at the school at 7 a.m. anyways. Whatever. By that point, it's midnight. But like, goddamn, if I like told my wife with 2 young kids like that, you know, see you Saturday afternoon, like or whatever, that would not fly.
Nope.
Not a chance. Oh.
Back to the Catholics. I'm gonna tell you.
The shitty part is, man, is I really liked Doug.
Did he
like,
ever take advantage of you?
In what way? Like, sexually?
Be honest. It's okay. No one's watching. It's okay.
No.
He had that ability.
No. I really liked Doug, and like he was a super fun guy to hang out and drink beer with and all those things. And he was a good football coach.
Were you ever his piano man?
No, I was never his piano man.
Did you ever start the fire?
I did never.
God, he loved that.
Yes.
He's the only person I know can rattle off that whole fucking spiel.
Yeah, that was like one of the first things he was, hey, I need you to memorize this. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, I try to memorize this song. And I was like, all right, yeah, sure.
How you guys started practice, right?
We started Monday. Yep.
Yeah. How's it going?
We're good.
Yeah. I keep seeing articles in the paper and stuff. It's just so weird. I'm so detached from it anymore.
No, it's odd. I mean, you know, what's weird is, you know, so my last year coaching was 2017 at the college level. And then before that, you know, I hadn't really coached offense. And I mean, it's damn near like 8-9 years. And so like coming in and like calling offense and like even like coaching offense is actually kind of like unique, and it's fun and exciting again, which is fun. So, but it's definitely like you'll say something to a kid like, oh shit, I forgot that, like this is a good coaching point, you know, because you haven't coached it in so long, you forget about it.
Right. So are you like sophomore coach or something?
Yeah. So I varsity assistant, sophomore assistant, or whatever. So
are you calling the sophomore offense then?
Yeah.
Sweet. That's cool though.
No, it's fun. And, you know, like we had a good practice today where like, you know, our varsity was really getting after it, and our sophomores like honestly really got after it too. And it was a, you know, kind of a physical segment. And so we both sides got into it a little bit, and it's, you know, it's a little different. You don't get that at, you know, maybe some other schools that we've coached at, because you don't have the guys to compete like against each other like that. But it was level and fair, and, you know, and it was fun. So like you know, at college level, you get that because you got an offensive side of the ball and you got a defensive side of the ball, and that's what side they play, you know. And then at this side of school, you know, you have guys that play one side of the ball for the most part. And so it's really ones-on-ones when you really get after it. And it kind of, you know, the level is just so much higher.
Oh, absolutely. I can only imagine. Like, we were mostly ones on nuns. I'd
say we were halves on zeros, but yeah.
Right. Yeah. I mean, there was times we probably had a handful of kids that would be a one at other places, but
absolutely.
not very often. Not very often. And I still struggle to really adequately explain to people what that was like, because I don't know if you could ever understand unless you were fucking there.
No. So like it feels good, like getting back into it and being in the league again, and like hearing other coaches be like, you know, when you guys were there, like, you guys weren't embarrassing, and like I'm not I don't want to say it's embarrassing now. I'm not gonna.
It sounds like it fucking is. I mean,
but like so like you hear things like you guys weren't. You did things the right way. You guys played hard, and you like at least put out formidable offensive and defensive like schemes. And so it's nice hearing those things. But
for
a different
sure.
world. I don't know what it's like there or anywhere else, and it's hard. I can imagine what they're going through. I mean,
dude, I saw
60 kids.
Yeah, I saw some pictures on. I was gonna like screenshot them and send them to you. I saw some pictures on Facebook the other day because they must have like had their team photos and stuff, and it was like, here are the seniors. Like it was a mom taking pictures of and I'm like, these kids look like they're on the freshman baseball team. Like they do not. Yeah. They don't even look like football players. Like it looked like they just grabbed a random kid out of the hallway and threw a football uniform on him. and like for a while, like after the fact, like shortly after we were done there, like I felt it was not I shouldn't say satisfaction, but more like you guys thought you fucking had it bad. Just wait and see type of thing. But like now, I almost feel like fucking bad for him. I mean, because I'm like, these kids don't stand a fucking chance. Like, and I'm sure that they're gonna go out and they're gonna try really hard and try their best and whatever. But I'm like, physically, they aren't even in the same universe.
Hey, that team was 10-0 in JFL.
Yeah, you know, and they might have been, and that's just crazy. But they should hire a JFL coach to take over the program and go run that thing into the.
And I don't know dick about the guy they got coaching now other than he played college ball. Like that's all I know. He played at U of I. I don't know shit about him. I imagine if you played at that level, you probably know a little bit about the game. But
yeah, for sure.
Then he knows what situation he's in.
Probably.
You know what though? I think they'll break their. I think they have a pretty decent losing streak right now. I think they should be able to break it that first week. They're playing a 1A school.
Who are they playing again?
One of those Catholic 1A schools. What would that be?
Okay. Fuck, who knows?
Aurora Christian.
Oh, that's right. I don't know, man.
That's a really good 1A program. So I don't know how they've been recently, but hopefully for them. I feel bad.
Wrestling and some of the other things are pretty.
Yeah, they're pretty good, and like I know they're really good at wrestling. Like,
are they?
Yeah, I mean, and that usually translates
country
for the most part.
I agree.
I don't know. And the thing, they probably won't. I mean, usually you could say, well, we'll have better numbers than them, but that's probably not going to be the case.
Yeah, that's a good point. Might not.
Did you see that Urbana's not going to play a varsity football season?
Wow.
I saw that. It was in the paper. They said they were the second school so far this year in the state that's canceled their varsity football season. I didn't read it and see who the other one was.
Riverdale or Riverton? I can't remember which one.
No, is the other one?
Yes. Yep. Gotcha. One of the Riverdale, Riverton, or one of those. They canceled their varsity schedule. They're only doing JV or softball.
Not enough numbers or what?
What's that?
I'd assume it's not enough players.
Not enough players.
So the article I read with the Riverdale or Riverton, whichever one it was, I think they got a head coach in kind of late too. A coach quit. They got a head coach in late, and then I think they have decent numbers, but it's mostly underclass, and you don't really want to put freshmen and sophomore through that. I think is from what my understanding was.
How the fuck does that happen in Urbana?
That's a good question.
Well, the last good team they had was the team we played in the playoffs in like 2013. Like they've been dog shit since. They didn't have good numbers on that team. They had fucking 35 kids dressed. They were just really good. Like
they had a good quarterback.
Yeah, the Cameron Mammon, the kid who's a state champ wrestler, was their quarterback. Yeah, and they had a couple other. Champ? Yeah, he fucking pinned his kid in the finals, I think.
Jesus.
Yeah, he was dominant, and I think he pinned everybody all the way through. And then they had a couple other kids, like skill kids, that were really talented, and and then there was a little home cooking. I mean, I think that year we had everything go our way all season, and then like karma caught up with us for that one fucking game, and we cashed it all in right there, and everything went against us.
The lights turned out. In our head, I mean, everything. I think was like, this is done. We're done.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. And it sucks because I think we were really the better team, like overall, for sure. And whatever. I mean, that's why you play the game. But I mean, but I remember watching film, right, and being like, these guys catch a ton of breaks. Like they're not that good. They've gotten really lucky.
Yeah, they beat one of the normal schools off a bunch of fluke plays. I can't remember which one it was. That was, I mean, yeah, that was we definitely felt like the better team for sure. We could have been, one of those teams that hosted a home playoff game.
Yeah. Well, yeah. The next week, Morris would have came to town and beat the fucking dog shit out of us. But it would have been cool to at least host a playoff game and win one. But
yep.
Actually, I think Morris won the state championship that year, if I'm not mistaken.
They got the championship. I can't remember if they won or not, but they got the championship.
They were really fucking good.
Yeah, they had a tight end quarterback running back. Real nice.
Yeah. Well, that team had was it that Durgo kid or whatever?
No, that Durgo was earlier than that.
Was he? Okay.
Yeah. Durgo was the wrestler, right? Real good wrestler, broke all the records.
Yeah, Josh Durgo.
Yeah, he was a nice player.
For sure. Well, shit, man. I probably should fucking get headed home soon. God damn, it's almost 10 o'clock.
What?
I ride my ass back to fucking Lincoln.
Well, I appreciate you guys having me on, man.
Yeah, dude, this is a good time. It's fun. And if Hacker gets the fucking fantasy league going and we need a couple guys, I'll let you know.
I'm down. I'm always down to donate money for that.
As long as you take Deshaun Watson with your first pick.
I
think it's like Dick and Dayton, I think.
Yeah, just the silent partner.
Yep.
Oh, you probably can't get a word in edgewise with the rest of us.
That's facts. A lot of words going in. Yep.
I'm just waiting for our rematch in golf. You and Johnson.
Fuck, I've probably seen you guys more recently than I've seen that guy. I did go golf with him one time last year. We golfed.
Yeah.
And I got another buddy named Kevin. He lives in Lake and he's from Morton. Good fucking guy. Super guy. Really good golfer.
Okay.
He's the best golfer I know, that I've played golf with for sure. And we played at Pine Lakes. And about halfway through the round, he's like, "What the fuck's up with your buddy?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" And he's like, he said he was he was shooting 41 at the turn or something. He's like, "There's no fucking way." He's like, "There's not no fucking way." And I'm like, "Yeah, you just kind of gotta fucking." That's just Josh.
Well, now let me ask you this: living over in Lakin, have you played that golf course that's public now that used to be private?
So yeah, the club or
9-hole?
whatever, Timber Ridge. I tell you what, when I first moved to town and it was still Lakin Country Club, I went out there and played, and it was a total dog shit.
Really?
The tee boxes were bare, whatever. But a family, a local one of the, how all the small towns are. There's 3 or 4 prominent families. So one of those prominent families bought the club. They changed the name to Timber Ridge, and they put a ton of money into it. The clubhouse is really nice. They got a really nice restaurant out there, and then they put a ton of money into the course, and it's really pretty nice. It's way nicer than it was when I moved to town 5 years ago or whatever. And it's the only thing that's it's hard, honestly. I think it's fucking tough because the greens are really small, and there's a lot of elevation change throughout the course, and the greens too. I feel like they're a little. The grass is a little long on the greens compared to other places, so they're a little slow. But almost all the greens are really slanted in some way. So they're tiny. So it's really fucking challenging. Even my buddy Kevin, I was telling you about he's the last couple times he's been out, he's shot in the high 70s. He's pretty solid, and he's like, "Fuck, dude!" And he's got a membership out there at the club, and he'll go play. And he's like, "It's fucking hard, man." He's like that. He's like, people kind of shit on this course. He's like, but it's tough and. It is. It's definitely more challenging than a Quail or even Pine Lakes or just one of your average courses.
That's just a 9-holer, right?
Yeah. No, but it's fun. And the beer's not super expensive and nobody fucks with you. Everybody's pretty laid back. Which is probably my favorite. And the fact that it's close, I guess that's my favorite part. But shit, I haven't been out in over a month.
Well, I think it's time.
It is, man. I'd love to go soon. I might be next weekend. I think I'm flying Han Solo all weekend because the wife's got to go to Sheboygan, Wisconsin for nursing clinicals, and I think the kids are going to go to my mom's, so I might be able to squeeze around it if you guys want to play.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kevin probably be watching film, but drag him out for a couple hours.
We'll see.
Yeah.
All right, boys. Good talking to you.
Yeah, it was a pleasure.
Chuck.
Thanks, fellas.
See you,
Packer,
boys.
I promise if I ever come back in here, I'll talk less sports and more Houston 620.
Yes. More
Inverter
boners.
mysteries.
I would give it. I would
Yeah.
also give a 5 for 5. I don't have that problem. Okay, so
I love it. Your boy over here sometimes he clams up.
I know. Well, not as much as Dick and Dayton.
Yeah, he is the clam.
All right, fellas, have a good one.
Yep. Later.
Take it.